Hi everybody, welcome to this narrated PowerPoint on Social Security. Social Security will be your retirement, or in parentheses, a part of your retirement. Most people will tell you that Social Security is a nice supplement, but it is typically not enough to live the kind of life that you want to live on. So as we go through this narrated PowerPoint, be thinking about, yes, this will be great, this will be a nice addition, but what else are you going to be doing to supplement your Social Security? So here we go. So what is it? So Social Security is a financial safety net for older Americans. It was established in 1935 by the Social Security Act. Before that, support for the elderly wasn't a federal concern. It fell to the states, to the towns, and of course the families. So there were a lot of families that were having to be financially responsible for their parents and their grandparents as they were getting older in age. The program, the Social Security, it's based on contributions that workers make into the system. So typically, when you're employed, you pay into Social Security, and then you receive benefits later on when it's your turn to retire. Contributions take the form of the Federal Insurance Contribution Act, or FICA. So if you are working, take a look on one of your pay stubs and you're going to see these different acronyms. Almost everyone is paying into Social Security, so you'll see FICA as one of your tax deductions. Medicare benefits are commonly considered part of Social Security benefits, although technically Medicare is a separate program. Medicare contributions are withheld from your paycheck in much the same way as your Social Security through those FICA taxes that are supporting both Social Security and Medicare. So you might be asking yourself, well, will I be eligible for Social Security benefits? And the answer is yes, as long as you've worked for at least 10 years for those of you born in 1929 or later, which is probably all of you in this class. 10 years is the minimum amount of time required to earn the mandatory 40 credits. We'll talk more about these credits in a second. Even if you have accumulated 40 credits or more, you can't start getting payouts until you're age 62 or older. So age 62 for typical Social Security would be the earliest date that you can start drawing these benefits. So how does my work now equal benefits later? So remember those credits that I was talking about earlier? You accumulate credits based on your earnings. So in 2017, you get 1 credit for every $1,300 you earn, and that figure is adjusted higher each year, up to a limit of 4 credits per year. These credits remain on your record, your Social Security Administration record, even if you change jobs or stop working for a while. And again, if you were born after 1929, you need 40 credits. So theoretically, you could earn 40 credits in 10 years because you can earn up to 4 a year. To earn 4, it would be, 13 times 4, $5,200. So you'd have to be making a minimum of $5,200 per year to receive those 4 credits. How do I know I'm getting credit for the years that I've worked? So the Social Security Administration, the SSA, mails out a summary of your benefits each year, about 3 months before your birthday. And you can request one by calling them, and you can also ask for a form, or you can download this form. So I'm going to have this PowerPoint as something that you can download, and then you can just click on these different links and go directly to these forms and other websites that I'm going to reference in a second. The statement that you receive provides a record of your earnings history, the number of credits you've accumulated to date, and an estimate of the retirement benefits available if you wait until full retirement age, which we'll talk about a little bit later as well. Because your benefits depend on your lifetime earnings, it's important to check your statement closely to make sure all the information is accurate. So when can I start getting these payouts? Well, the earliest you can start collecting Social Security is at the age of 62. The latest is age 70. When you start collecting payments in that 8-year span between the age of 62 and 70 is totally up to you. And actually, your actual retirement date doesn't matter. You could retire before 62, you could retire at 50 or 55 if you like. You can also retire after 70. But if you retire before 62, you'll have to make sure you have enough money set aside to support yourself, because the Social Security payments are not going to kick in until at the earliest the age of 62. So if I have this option, if I could get it at 62 or I could wait until 70, is there a benefit to waiting past the age of 62 to start collecting? And the answer is yes. The longer you wait to start getting payments, the bigger the payments will be. So it gets a little complicated. The government makes you wait until full retirement age in order to start collecting your full retirement payout. Your full retirement age varies. It used to be 65, but Congress voted in 1983 to raise that full retirement age to 67 for everyone born in 1960 or later. So for those workers born between 1938 and 1960, the full retirement age varies depending on your birth year. For myself, and I'm guessing most of you, this full retirement age is going to be 67. So again, that's the age where you can start getting your full retirement payments. So what's the best age to start getting payments? Well, of course, it depends on how long you'll live. And since none of us have that particular crystal ball handy, you'll have to assess the best age based on how long you think you'll be around, how long you'll live. So if you think you're going to die relatively early, and I apologize if this sounds morbid, but you'll want to start getting your payments as soon as possible, right at the age of 62. However, if your grandparents live to 100 and you think you probably will too, your best strategy is to put off taking your payments until you turn the full retirement age, or even waiting until the age of 70. Each year that you wait, your payments will be increased, and those payments will be that amount for the rest of your life. So how much will my payments be if I collect at age 62? Well, it depends on when you were born. So if you were born between 1943 and 1954, your payment will be reduced 25% if you start receiving your payment benefits at age 62. That reduction is permanent, meaning the 25% reduction applies not only to the money you collect between ages 62 and 67, but all the money you'll collect for the rest of your life through Social Security will be reduced by 25%. How much will my payments be if I wait until age 70? Well, your benefits go up 8% for every year after the full retirement age that you delay collecting payments. So until you turn 70, of course, that's the longest that you can delay. There's no benefit to delaying getting your Social Security past 70. You'd simply be throwing money away because they're not going to increase the payments. So you definitely, if you haven't already, you definitely want to start doing this once at the age of 70. So how big will my payout be? Well, the annual benefit statement that the Social Security Administration sends you gives you an estimate of how much you'll get if you wait until full retirement age. They also have some calculators on their website and some worksheets that you can fill out, so you can put in your typical earnings and the age that you're anticipating getting your Social Security, and it will give you an estimate of the amount of money that you could receive. The younger you are, the less accurate your estimates will be, because you have all these as yet unknown future earnings that will play an important role in all of this. Will my spouse and kids receive benefits when I die? There's something called survivor benefits, and they're available for certain family members as long as you've accumulated the 40 credits. Remember, you can get 4 per year before dying. So your children may qualify for 75% of your Social Security benefits based on your record of contributions up until they turn 18 or 19 in the case of a child still in elementary or secondary school. As for your spouse, he or she can receive a reduced benefit, typically around 70%, as early as age 60, or they can receive your full benefit after reaching full retirement age. And of course, with all these things, they're looking at the number of years that you were married, and every single situation is a little bit unique. So this is just kind of the general basic information. And again, you always want to look into the situation specifically to your situation. And those benefits will continue indefinitely unless your spouse remarries. So how do these Social Security disability, so this is actually something different. This is Social Security disability payments. So your eligibility for these benefits works on the same credit system as for retirement benefits, but there's slightly different rules about who's eligible. Eligibility for disability benefits depends on how old you are when you became disabled, as well as the nature of your disability. You can't qualify for disability benefits if you're able to work and earn more than $1,130 a month, which was based on the 2016. It goes up a little bit every year. Your disability also must be considered severe enough to affect your everyday work-related activities. So they have this online version that kind of walks you through the process so you can decide whether or not you would most likely qualify as disabled in the eyes of the Social Security Administration. Well, people always love to ask this question, right? Will Social Security still exist when I retire? Well, it's true that Social Security will soon start paying out more benefits than it receives in contributions as the bulk of the baby boomer generation phases into retirement. So with people living longer, this Social Security Administration is having to make more payments for a longer period of time, which of course is a hard thing to do when you have only a set amount of money either saved up or coming in. The government's official position is that there's enough money saved to pay benefits at the currently scheduled amounts until 2035. They admit on their website that benefits will likely be reduced after that, bearing changes that improve the financial strength of the system. And actually, Social Security, their cash flow has been negative since 2010, meaning that they pay out more than it takes in via taxes. Right now, it can cover that shortfall with interest on its treasuries, kind of investments that it has. But that can't continue indefinitely. So while it's unlikely Congress will do away with Social Security, to close the gap, it's going to have to do something. It might have to scale back benefits for future recipients. It might have to increase taxes that people are paying, or it might be a combination of both of those things. So this is sometimes one of those very political things that people are debating, you know, what should we do about this and what should we do about that? And sometimes politicians try to address these issues, and sometimes they, I think, try to ignore it because it really is a hotbed, because this is something that is going to affect almost every single person, because this is one of the ways that you're going to be funding your retirement. I always like to say at the end, this is not going to be the only way that you fund your retirement in an ideal situation. You want to look into pension plans. You want to look into retirement accounts that you're going to fund. So as we go through these modules, you're going to get introduced to some of these options, and you can see which ones you want to combine to make the best financial future for yourself. And finally, where can I go for more information? Well, the best place to get started is the ssa.gov. That's the main website for the Social Security Administration. You can use their retirement calculators, you can check out your Social Security statement, you can change your address, and you can manage your benefits online. And again, my hope is that Social Security will be part of your retirement, but not the entire amount. So again, be sure to check out the other videos in this module to see how you can plan to supplement your Social Security check with other forms of retirement income. Thanks for listening, everybody.